Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a project for May Day. So May Day happens every May 1st, and it is traditionally known as a day to celebrate spring. And what we're going to be making is a May Day basket. And once the basket's created, I'll show you how to make tissue paper flowers. Otherwise, you can just kind of go out in your yard and find flowers or flowering. I cut this off of a flowering bush that we have. It can be really anything, dandelions, buttercups, anything out in the yard that's kind of a springy thing, and you can put it in the basket once it's done. But if you don't have that, if you don't want to put real flowers in your basket, I will teach you how to do tissue paper flowers. So for the tissue paper flowers, you don't need a very big size of tissue. Basically, just this, and you just need 4 pieces of tissue paper to do the tissue paper flower. But you will need a pipe cleaner, you'll need a paper plate that we're going to turn into a basket, you will need some kind of ribbon, so you can use, I have this kind of sheer blue colored ribbon. You can use like leftover ribbon from like a gift or a basket, this ribbon. Also too, you could use this ribbon that typically you kind of wrap presents with. You can curl it, so you can use this. And you will definitely need to have a stapler. And when it comes to the stapling part of the activity, let your child do it, guide them, but it's really good for upper body strength to push down on the stapler. And you'll need markers and crayons. And what we're going to do is we're going to decorate both sides of the plate. It does not matter how you decorate it. I'm going to decorate mine with lines and dots and different patterns of colors. So I'm going to start. I'm going to move my flower here over here. So I'm just going to kind of give you an idea, and then I'm going to finish it and then come back. So easiest would be to start in the middle of the paper, and then I'm going to do wavy lines to start. And it'll be easier for you because you're going to be working, your plate's going to be here. All right, so my favorite color is purple, so I'm going to use different shades of purple. So I'm going to do a zigzag line. Now, if you don't have a paper plate, you can just cut a piece of white paper into a circle. So it's always another way to do things. And now I think I'm just going to add some circles. And always, when we're doing any of these activities, if you think about drawing, and as I'm doing these circles, I'm practicing a lot of O's, and I'm practicing a lot of zeros. I don't really know that I'm doing that, right? Because all I'm doing is having some fun making some circles. All right, so I'm going to turn my plate this way. And again, you can use as many colors as you want to decorate your plate. Because you'll see, like, once it's all decorated, how cool when we fold it to make the basket, how cool it's all gonna look. And like I said, it really doesn't matter how you're doing it, as long as you put a lot of colors. Now I'm gonna use some green. I'm just gonna go around the edges. And the paper plate has like these ridges, so it's making this cool kind of effect. You'll have an easier time when you're drawing on the table versus elevated like this. All right, so now I'm going to do the other side. So the plate essentially is going to be folded like this. So you're not going to see a lot of what's inside the plate, but you'll see a lot more of what's on the bottom. I'm just going to flatten the plate out a little bit. And I'm going to draw a flower in the middle. So I'm going to get my thicker markers, and the only reason why I'm going to use thicker markers is because when you're coloring in something, it's better to use the thicker ones. It doesn't then they don't dry out as fast. Here's my circle. And now I'm going to do my petals. One petal. I'm going to alternate. So when we alternate, that word just means that I want to make a pattern. So in this, you can make anything you want. You don't have to make a flower, but because it's May Day, thought it would be nice. And this is a very simple basket to make, and using materials that hopefully you'll have on hand. But like I said, you don't need a paper plate. You can just use a piece of paper. The only thing that's really pretty necessary is the stapler. I mean, you could use tape if you don't have a stapler. That's always a possibility. I need a big, thick green. Make my petals. I'm gonna get the green crayon. Color in my I got the Shamrock Green. No, this is Jungle Green. I always like to have different colors. Makes it look more interesting. Now you can always paint them, but just it's going to be harder to kind of you have to wait then to fold it. So it'd just be easier just to use markers, crayons. Even I wouldn't even use water paint. I think I'm going to take some of the colors and go around. It's so cool because it's like very, very bumpy, so it makes a noise too. Now, one thing is with markers, you have like the very tip of it, but then you have the side of it, particularly the fatter markers, the thicker markers. So you can go on the side and kind of color in that way too. It's a little bit more efficient way of coloring. We use paper plates a lot in class, like we've made so many wreaths. And then we made the spring wreaths. It's just a lot of fun using paper plates. And on Pinterest, there's so many different like activities to use the paper plates that you could really just spend a lot of time making all sorts of things. All I'm doing right now is just layering colors, and when you want to do that, you want to stick with the same type of color. So what that means is that I'm not putting yellow, I'm putting different purples, pinks, reds. Now if you'd rather do blues, then you just kind of stick with blues or even greens, and then that'll just blend it nice so that you're not going to get brown. And remember when we made the mud, you don't want to make mud when you're making a nice pretty spring basket. So, alright, so you could leave it, you could even color in the white part. I'm just going to leave it, I kind of like how it looks, but however you want to decorate it, that's the way that you're going to decorate it. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to fold in the sides, and it depends on how wide you want this, how close you staple it. So I'm just going to keep it like this, and probably gonna need a couple of staples. Okay, so now that it's stapled, so now I have my hole where my, if you go out and you get some live things, they can go inside here. But now I have to make my handle. So if you have a hole punch, that's great, because then very easy. If you don't have a hole punch, you just sort of squeeze the two sides together and just sort of snip a little hole. And you do it on the other side. And again, your child can help you because you can hold it, right? You can snip it, or you know, kind of squeeze this together, and then they can come over and just be like, all right, you're just gonna cut a little bit here. And that's it. And then it kind of pokes through, so you have two holes. You can also staple it, but I always find that ribbon sometimes always falls out. I don't really have a lot of luck with that. I'm going to use this blue ribbon, and I'm just going to thread it through here and tie it. If you don't have ribbon, you can use string, you can use yarn, really anything. This is too long, so I'm just going to cut it. Twine, anything to act as the way to hold it up. All right. So there's my hanger. So now I have this, and then I can put my real flower in there, and I can also put my, I'm gonna cut this. So you don't need wire cutters to cut pipe cleaner. All you really want to do is just really pinch it, and then use scissors and just kind of keep the scissor all the way down. And obviously mom and dad need to do that rather than, and then you just kind of stick your paper flower in there. So I'm going to show you how to make the tissue paper flower. It's very easy. You just need 4 sheets, and it depends. So I wanted to make a small one. You can make as big as you want, but you want to have it like a square. I find it to be the easiest. So you just take 4 sheets. I just happened to choose the ones that were together in my little pile. And if you don't have colored tissue paper, you can get just white tissue paper, like if you have had any packages come, sometimes they're wrapped up in tissue paper, or gifts like shirt boxes. If you've had anything like that, there's the tissue paper there. It's basically the same, and you could use the markers to decorate it if you want, or it could just be white. Really doesn't matter. And we've done this where when it was a while ago in October when we made Pumpkin Man, and you do the accordion. And that's always a fun activity too, is like just take a regular piece of paper and you fold, you flip, you fold, and you flip, you fold, and you flip, and you fold. So I'll show you that again. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, so it's fold, flip, fold, flip, fold, flip, and fold. All right, so now that my paper's all whacked out here, so this is probably more of a task. So when you do this, make sure that all your papers are the same size and going the same way, rather than what just happened to me. All right, so I'm going to fold, flip, fold, flip, and then fold. And then, so it really doesn't matter. So you have this side, you also have this side. So it really just matters what color do you want inside for your flower. So put this back up. So I'm going to keep the yellow. So you're going to take your pipe cleaner. If you don't have a pipe cleaner, I I guess you could use, like if you had a stiff ribbon, that would work. Something with a wire, because the pipe cleaner has wire. And just always be careful at the top of the pipe cleaner. Sometimes, you know, can poke. All right, so you're just gonna fold that over and then just twist it here. So then you have, it looks like that, and that's twisted. And then simply bring up the tissue paper on either side. Now this task, if you are heavy-handed, which means that not working in a gentle way, the tissue paper will rip. So it's to be very, very gentle. So it's good practice for these pincer fingers and being able to pull something. And so we're pulling things in two opposite directions. So this is really working the fine motor skills. So your child may need help with this depending on where their fine motor development is. And that's perfectly okay, because doing all these activities, these art activities, build all those muscles and their confidence in their ability to do it. So it's why we have a lot of these different ways of using our fine motor skills. All right, so there you have it. So then now this gets hung on the front door. And there is my May Day basket hung on my front door. All right, have fun with it.